Hi, Mother. You put a lot of
Look at that.
Today I got no, I had for her.
Mom, that's my street.
And I changed it.
No.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there. I can still take care of it. That's it? Only one? I like none.
like not right, not today.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Jet Li. No, man, because he doesn't give up.
So I touched base with Andrew. Right, she wants to
No.
Looking good. $1
Yeah, we can sell them.
Yeah, you can't just do room to room.
Tried so
we don't need to have the setting on this page.
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, we have to take that into consideration.
You don't have what?
We don't have the ability to make it.
But that's, I've seen that.
What? Is it still black?
Yeah. I'm fucking drowned him in water. Water. Think about that. You are 15. I'm bringing down the property. Yeah, Sean. My dad took away the PS4 for a second.
For a second.
For a second, maybe all night or I don't know, but he like lying, I walked in and I was like, dude, we don't need
I love it. Tell him to start looking for them places.
Left it in the car.
Like I would do like you would almost have
It's too warm out, you know?
okay.
Yeah. It's the meat. I mean, you know, for half of the budget stuff, like, and how much was that? Okay, so, you know,
Okay, everybody, grab a seat and let's get going. We're live on Facebook and live everywhere, so if you're tuning in from wherever you are, thank you for joining us, and thanks for everybody who's here. Thank you for attending the Racing for Recovery Support Group meeting. We are focused on maintaining a drug-free and healthy lifestyle. Since 2001, our open forum meeting welcomes parents, adolescents, recovering individuals, and anyone who supports our mission. Your suggestions, comments, or ideas are welcome to make our meetings the best they can be. The Racing for Recovery Support Group meeting is a cutting-edge alternative to what is currently offered. By combining substance abusers, families, friends, and the public at large, we have created an environment that is beneficial to everyone who has been affected by alcohol and drug addiction. Our meeting start time is 7 p.m. Please turn off your cell phones and please refrain from posting on social media during our discussion tonight. Please, only one person speaks at a time. We will gladly sign any proof of attendance documentation that you need. If you leave them outside in the hallway on the table, we can pick them up when we're done with our discussion. Honesty is required. Feel free to openly share your comments and points of view on how alcohol and drug addiction has impacted your life. This meeting is open to people of all ages and welcomes diversity. So please refrain from using excessive foul language or language that discriminates against any race, gender, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or disability in order to maintain an atmosphere of respect and dignity for all who are present. If you see a visitor, a new member, or a returning member that you haven't seen in a while, please warmly welcome them into our program. And lastly, please refrain from leaving the meeting while it's in progress. That would be awesome if we'd stop doing that. Okay, who has our lifestyles of recovery? You're on now.
Guidelines for living a lifestyle of recovery. The lifestyle of recovery guidelines families and anyone else who is striving to avoid substance abuse and achieve sobriety. Guidelines. 1. Recognizing that substance abuse ruins lives. 2. Wanting to pursue positive alternatives to substance abuse such as our education, employment, quality relationships, and health and fitness. 3. Using resources such as friends, family, teachers, and peers as a way to achieve and remain sober. Adding sports, art, or music to these resources will help us stay focused and motivated. 4. Defining balance and working toward making it a part of everyday life. 5. Building self-esteem and confidence through sobriety to combat negative feelings regarding oneself. 6. Understanding that negative behaviors of isolation and self-pity lead to self-destruction. 7. Lifting a person up is different than allowing them to continue their destructive lifestyles. Be there for yourself and be patient with your friends and family. 8. Learning how to help without supporting the addict's behavior, providing assistance to the recovering individual that will improve their lives, not further their usage. 9. Recognizing personal challenges and integrating them into our lifestyle as challenges to triumph over. 10. Caring for our personal, emotional, physical, and spiritual individuality is the source we use for our sense of worth. Each person is truly magnificent. Our mission at Racing for Recovery is to prevent all forms of substance abuse by promoting a lifestyle of fitness and health for all those affected by addiction.
Awesome. Is there anybody here for their first ever Racing for Recovery meeting tonight? A couple hands. Cool. Welcome. We are glad you're here. I forgot to mention this earlier, so mistake number 1 for me tonight. If you do not want to be on camera during the meeting, there are gray chairs on the corners. If you don't want to be on camera, that's our safety zone, if you will. So every week we're going to have those designated areas if you do not want to be on camera. So here's what we do at each and every Racing for Recovery support group meeting, very loudly so everybody can hear you. Everybody's going to get a chance to introduce themselves and say who you are and why you're here. Unlike other support group meetings that you may or may not have been to, it's not required that you introduce yourself as an addict or an alcoholic. We pretty much understand if you're here, you've been affected by addiction. We don't require that you say that. If you need to introduce yourself as an addict or a recovering addict for your own sobriety, please feel free to do so. But at Racing for Recovery, we are more focused on who you are, why you're here, and how we can help you. Joe.
My name is Joe. I come to Racing for Recovery because someone gave me the camera controls. So no, I come here because this is where my family and friends are, and every time I leave, I feel way better than I did when I walked through the door.
I'm Brian, and I'm the one that gave him the camera controls. So I'll be here to kind of monitor the situation and make sure things go well.
I'm Jordan, and I'm here because this is where my friends and family are, and I want to keep working on being a better version of me every day.
I'm Desi. I come because I'm best understood when I'm in this building.
I'm Tatiana, and I'm here for moral support and whatever kind of support there is, and I gained some friends and family around me too.
I'm Diane, Jordan's mom, and I'm here to support Jordan, all his friends, but support myself.
I'm Jake, recovering heroin addict. I'm here because of the good vibes, and this is where my family is.
I'm Denise Jacobs' mom, and I'm here to learn.
I'm Haley, and I'm just here to listen.
I'm Cindy, and I'm here because this is my safe space.
I'm Dante, and I'm here to support Jordan, and I absolutely love coming to these meetings.
Daryl, go ahead.
I'm Daryl. I'm here to find peace of mind.
I'm Mike. I come here to stay positive and stay sober and be with my family.
I'm Steven. I come here because I love this place. It means the world to me, and I can't imagine being anywhere else.
I'm Alexis, and I come to these meetings because I want to continue to support this program and learn.
My name is Jenna. I'm here to support Justine.
I'm Justine. I'm here because I'm new at sobriety.
My name is Brandon. I'm here because I have faith in these lifestyles, and I can tell it's working.
I'm Mel, and I come to these meetings because I know today that I am worth it.
I'm Jessica, and I'm here to learn about my disease and to learn how to live again.
I'm Zoe. I'm a recovering heroin addict, and I'm here to learn.
I'm Sarah. I'm a heroin addict, and I'm here because I've been having a rough day.
I'm Kelsey, and I'm a recovering heroin addict. I want to throw up right now because I'm here because I want to be myself again.
I'm here to be around sober people.
I'm Ron. I'm here to give and get support.
15 years ago, my husband Ron and I walked into our first Racing for Recovery meeting. We were lost. We were hopeless. We didn't know what to do. We had two boys out there in the world of addiction, and we had no else place to go, and we heard about this meeting, and ever since then, for 15 years, we've had hope, and we hope to see some of you parents and friends of these addicts and alcoholics to get the same thing out of it that we were so blessed to have gotten 15 years ago.
Patrick, go ahead.
My name's Patrick. I'm here because I learned inside these walls that there is hope for sobriety.
David. I'm an addict and alcoholic, and I come to these meetings because they help me stay clean and sober.
My name is Mason. I'm just here to surround myself with positive people and support.
I'm because there is not a better way in the world to start my day than this meeting.
My name is Joe, and I'm here because this program works. It's unbelievable, and I want to support it 100%, and there's no better way for me to end my day than to be here.
My name's Derek, and thank gosh I've recovered.
My name is Shorty. I am more than just an addict, and I am a family member here at Racing for Recovery. Thank you.
I'm Adam. I'm here because literally everybody recommends this place. Checking it out.
I have to pay some more money.
I'm Jim. I'm here to support my son Ryan, and the skepticism is still there a little bit, but it's getting better each time. I was in Cleveland for work last Thursday, and I couldn't be here, and I never once, because I've heard it, I never thought that I'd actually miss it, and just kind of weird.
I'm Therese. I'm here to support my son Ryan on his sobriety, but yeah, I agree with him. We look forward to Thursday nights, and I really enjoy coming.
My name is Ryan. I'm a recovering addict. I'm here because last week I celebrated 4 months, and tomorrow will be my 22nd birthday too, and this will be my first birthday I've been sober since I really can remember, and it's a lot to do. It's mostly to do because of this place. That's why I keep coming back, and look forward to being myself for my birthday for once.
Happy birthday.
Grandma, you're up.
Grandma, I am a recovered enabler. Today I would have traded my attic for a puppy. There was something else I was going to say. I wanted to thank all of you who got me through today. And I'm anxious to come here on Thursday nights and talk to my friends that have helped me so much. And hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. Thank you.
I'm Chris. My son's a recovering heroin addict, and this is my first time here.
My name's Matt. This is my first meeting here, and I've just heard a lot of good things about this place, and wanted to check it out.
I'm Louise, I'm Matt's mom, and I want to say to the woman, I missed her name, with the gray jacket, thank you very much.
Clark, and I'm here because I love someone who's a heroin addict, and I need help myself dealing with this.
I'm John, and as always, it's good to be here. It's so nice out today. I was going to ride my bicycle here, but I had a flat tire, so.
Sarah, this is my first time here.
I'm Stephanie. This is my first time here. I'm here for sport.
I'm Logan, here to show my baby boy for the first time.
My name's Jeff. I'm a recovering heroin addict, and I come here on Wednesdays and Thursdays to stay sober.
My name is Grant, and enjoyed every time that I came, so I'll keep going back.
I'm Jenny, and I'm here to continue to learn.
I'm Randall. I'm here to stay positive, and I always keep learning something good at these meetings, so I keep coming back.
I'm Tim, and this meeting is a part of my continuous improvement plan.
I'm Steve. I come here to stay on the right track.
I'm Dave. I'm here to support my son, Steve.
I'm Logan. I'm here for support.
My name's Jeff, recovering alcoholic addict, and I'm here taking advantage of all avenues that are offered.
I'm Dustin. I'm here for support.
I'm Mary Ann. I'm here to support and get support.
I'm Mike, and I'm here because I love the way the positive vibes rub off on me and stay with me.
I'm Randy. I am a parent who lost his daughter to an overdose. She started coming here, and it was the first program that ever gave her hope. I keep coming back because it gives me hope, and I want to help anybody who wants help.
My name is Rick. I'm here to support this great group of people in memory of my son Jacob, and every Thursday is just the love and the support and the magic green paint keeps me coming back.
I'm Mike. I'm here to support this awesome program. I'm also here because I value my life today.
I'm Rachel. I'm here to support my dad and everyone else in this room because this is where lives change.
I'm Diana. I'm here to give support, but I'm also here because I want to learn new ways to be able to help and support everyone.
I'm Amber. I'm here because this program has worked for me like no other program I've been in. It's helped change my mindset and really made me want to change my life and live today.
I'm Michael, addict. I'm here because this program is my recovery. These people, if it wasn't through these people, I couldn't recover.
I'm Esther, and I'm here to support my son, Michael.
I'm Brian. I'm here to support my brother, Michael.
I'm Bob. I come here because it's the best place to be. And I'm still trying to get Esther to adopt me.
I'm Ashley. I'm here to support Bobby and to better myself.
I'm Bob, and
coming here, I've been sober, I've been happy, and I've been making better decisions and dealing with life's problems, so I think I want to just keep coming around.
I'm Eric, and I'm here because I've missed many meetings because of work, and I need to find my balance again.
My name's Norm, and I come for the positivity, and it keeps me on the right road.
My name's Alex. I'm here to support this great program, to support my brother Joe. This program has done, wonders for our family, so I believe in it, and I learn stuff every time I come as well. So.
I'm Julie. I'm here to support my son Joe and to continue to learn.
My name's Bill, and I'm here to support my son Joe. And I keep coming because this place helps me. I learn tools in here all the time to help me be a better me. So I enjoy coming here.
My name is Dana. I'm here because this is where I need to be.
I'm Jenny. I'm here to continue to learn and to support everybody in this program.
I'm Nancy, and I'm here to support my son Matthew and everybody else here and get support.
I'm Matt. I'm here because the hard work never stops.
I'm Shelby, and I'm here to see my lifelong best friend do something I wanted her to do for a while now, and to see my soon-to-be forever husband do what he's been doing for a while now.
I'm Ashley, and I come because ever since I started coming, I stay away from alcohol, and I recently quit marijuana, which I did for 5 years religiously, all day, every day. I never thought I could stop.
My name's Kelly. I've known this kid since she's 4 years old, and I couldn't be prouder of her. More proud, whichever. I come because I love to witness the miracles that happen in this building. And the free therapy's not bad either.
I'm Jeff, and I come here because I believe in this awesome program, and I owe it to myself, to my family, and to my awesome friends in this room to keep showing up.
I'm Bruce, and I come to provide support to the group as best I can. I also have kind of a hidden agenda. It's not hidden anymore, because I'm going to tell you what it is. But I'm here to learn, but saying here to learn is kind of too wide open a statement, okay? What I really want to learn is get your feedback. I enjoyed hearing all the stories, all the positivity, but I really want to work on trying to change the treatment programs that are in place and the system as a whole. We lost our daughter to a thing called combined drug toxicity, cocaine and fentanyl. And I was not real happy with the treatment she received and how her treatment was proceeding when she was in recovery, and how the system overall worked, and how we could get education on the support side. So I really want to work towards those goals. Kind of hard since I'm still working full time, but that's my ultimate goal. So outside of this meeting, if anyone has any comments in those areas, I'd really appreciate it.
I'm Gail. As Bruce said, we lost our daughter about 5.5 months ago, and that coincided with us finding Racing for Recovery. This is the first place we came after she passed, and I'm here to support everybody that is beating their addictions. I am here to have them help me heal, because they do that every day without realizing it. I see it through the success stories, things that my daughter couldn't attain, but it gives me great hope when I see people around here that do obtain that.
Hi, I'm Susan, and I love this program, and I love seeing the miracles happen.
I'm Renee, and we had a stressful day today with cars breaking. I have a horrible headache from it, so I needed to come and get some positivity, and I didn't know I'd see Louise and Matt tonight.
From Virginia, and I'm glad to be here.
I'm Megan. I enjoy this program because it not only helped me find a way to get sober, but to stay sober through actions of, like, shit happened in the day. It's an easy, okay, it happened, let's move on, like, whatever. Like, I don't know. I just appreciate the mindset.
I'm Mike. I'm trying to put my life back together.
I'm Nikki. I'm here to support Ben and learn how to be a better support system, like instead of freaking out and crying, to be positive. I don't know, just to learn how to do the right thing, how to be a better, I don't know, support, member of the team here.
My name's Ben. Come here to learn something new and stay sober.
My name's Todd. I just love this program and all the awesome people in it, and proud to be a part of it.
My name is Brendan, and I'm here to keep the two Todds in check.
My name's Todd. I'm grateful to be a part of this program. I am grateful for the people who make this program what it is, and I'm just honored to be a part of what we do. And to, not to get into a bunch of what Bruce said, but I do want to take this time to say this. The format, this is for people in here, that was created 17 years ago was unique. And now this format of having it broadcast live is unique, and I love being first and doing things that are going to reach more people. I am very cognizant of people's emotions and feelings and privacy on this subject matter. I get that, and that's why we have our safety zones. But I believe I was blessed to have survived my choices to use drugs, the life that I'm fortunate enough to lead, and it's my obligation to get this program and what we do in front of as many people as I possibly can. So that's why we have this format going the way it is. We're now doing live interactions with people on Facebook to answer their questions. Pretty soon we're going to be videoing people in from all over the world who have a question to ask, because I believe how we look at how addiction is, how it starts and how it's truly treated is a great way to do it. So with respect to answering your question, that's what we do here. If you're watching from anywhere in the world and you want to help us do that, please contact us. But I'm just grateful to be a part of it. So who has the answer? Dee's poem.
The Answer by Dee Carr. Running from the misery, trying to escape the pain as I approach the light of hope that lies before me. Each step overwhelms me. Every breath sears my throat. I ache, and my body rebels against me. My memories, they torment me. Agony has become my closest companion. My demons mock me as I dangle helplessly above the abyss of alcohol and drug abuse. The voices all sound the same, criticizing, accusing, and blaming me for what has happened. They don't understand. They don't care who I am. I am a human being, full of thoughts and feelings. I'm worth saving. Just show me the way. As I reach, at last I reach the light of promise. There stands the answer. Open arms, understanding smiles, looks of trust. And so it begins, racing for recovery.
Kelly, you're up.
Racing for recovery means to me. R, respect yourself enough to quit using. A, accept the challenges that lie ahead. C, commit to your recovery. I, include friends and family on your journey. N, never doubt your will to succeed. G, give yourself credit for your accomplishments. F, focus on the positive things you want in life. O, overcome your fears and keep moving forward. R, remember the reasons that you are seeking sobriety. R, reach out to others to give and receive support. E, expect holes in the road, choose another road. C, care for your body, we only get one in this lifetime. O, open your heart, mind, emotions, and spirit. V, victory comes from a balanced lifestyle. E, educate yourself on all aspects of recovery. R, racing for recovery saves lives. And Y, you will learn that with sobriety, anything is possible.
All right. 96 people are here in this room tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause. A couple quick announcements. Tomorrow morning on local Channel 11 News, we're going to have Rachel and Dan talking about the services they provide. That's going to be pretty awesome. And then Sunday, Todd may chastise me for this a little bit. Sunday, look in the Toledo Blade. We're going to have a big feature in there, and if you're interested in, I don't like saying working because I don't work. I haven't worked in a long time. If you're interested in being a part of our unit here at Racing for Recovery and collecting a paycheck, if you will, there's going to be an ad in the paper about how to do that. So check that out on Sunday. So let's do this for a couple of topics tonight. Kelsey, it's awesome to see you back. I'm glad you're still with us. So Kelsey said she's here tonight because she wants to be herself again. Profound statement. I heard, I want to learn how to live. So let's talk about that. And then also, for us as the recovering substance abusers, how good does it feel to not be hurting ourselves and not be causing our loved ones any pain? And then lastly, I heard a family member say something that reminds me of this. What do we as the substance abusers need from our families to support us? And I'd like to hear from family members on what they need from us to help them be themselves. So a couple things to talk about tonight. Don't everybody go at once.
I just want to say that it's an awesome feeling being sober and having my family back and just enjoying life, spending time with them, being able to call my mom and her not saying what when she answers the phone, expecting me to ask her for money. For people who, my family, friends and family, just smile at me and know that I'm back and I'm no longer out there.
Well said. Grandma, you're up.
As a grandparent of an addict, I expect honesty, absolute honesty, and I guess support, but to live with this constant not knowing if it's the truth or not, it's very upsetting. And I guess and maybe some consideration of the other human beings in his life, and also like the telephone calls, gritting my teeth when my phone rings and because they want some money. And that's why I've grown up to the point where I say no. But sometimes I think honesty goes so far to get some, regain the trust that from your family. So that's all.
Buddy.
All right, I'm Brandon. And first thing I'd like to just share a quick story that happened a couple weeks ago. You know, there's an officer in the building, not to say no names, and when we were leaving a meeting like 2 weeks ago, this guy caught me in the hallway and he shook my hand and he didn't come around with handcuffs on him. And that was like the first time in my life. Like, that was just cool though, you know, like the different lifestyles that we come from, but what this room does to unite us, it's remarkable. No words can explain it. With finding myself, I always say application, so like analogy is like, if I went to school to be a doctor, but then I end up changing tires for a living, I'm not a doctor, I'm a tire changer, you know? So when this program gives me these lifestyles and they tell me these suggestions, if I don't go out there and put myself around positive peers or define balance and make it a part of my everyday life, or if I don't try things to triumph over and use them as like a positive vibe and gain strength from them, that I'm not doing nothing. So I can read this until I'm blue in the face, but it's when I apply this that I found myself. It's when I applied this that a 3-time convicted felon shook hands with a police officer with no bad intent involved. Like, it's just putting in the work, and it is tremendously hard at first. But once I started putting in that work, then it was on my sleeve. Like, you wear your heart on your sleeve. I wear Racing Recovery on my sleeve. Literally, I got a jacket, you know? But it's just in doing that, though, then it becomes easy. And then, like, okay, I stay in a motel over here through a program, and a gentleman comes up the other day, and he says, can you find me a sack of weed? My first response was, I'm in recovery. He said, sorry. So it's just, that's what it is. It's hard at first, but the picture that comes and the goals and just the reward from it is so beneficial. But once again, if I just know this and I don't apply this, I would not find myself. I'll be even more lost than what I was before I started, because now I know what to do, but I just don't do it. And that's just even worse than not knowing it. So I love this program. I'll keep wearing the jacket, and hopefully I shake his hand again, no handcuffs, you know? I love y'all.
Jordy, you're up.
You know, hey Grandma, there was a time in my life, even though I'm not your grandson, I just consider myself as, there was a time in my life where I couldn't be honest with you.
I know.
I couldn't be honest with myself. Because, as it says here, I was below it, above it, in it, on it, and all over it. But what I am grateful today for is that this program has shown me a new way of life. I've been in other programs for many, many years. I've done many, many different things. And what I like about Racing for Recovery is that it's given me a way to not only be a little bit spiritual, but it's given me some ways to be nutritionally sound. It's given me a way to be holistic, I guess, you know, mind, body, and soul. And that's what I really love about this program. And I believe in what it says, with sobriety anything is possible. You know, I didn't believe that for a long time. You know, I'd go to meetings and just stay sober. And I did that for a really, really long time. Just go to meetings and just stay sober. Now that I'm here, I feel alive and not just another sober. So, thank you, Todd.
Bill.
I'm Mel. I just wanted to talk about the being yourself again. I know that it took this time in sobriety to be myself. And I think what I really had to work at was, like Lifestyle 6, that my self-pity will only lead me to more self-destruction. And so this time around I had to put more work in to my peer support and who, you know, what that looked like. And then I had to really work on my self-esteem. And it's like how you said at the beginning of the meeting, I had to really work on my why. Like, why do I use? Why do I want to be known? Why do I feel this way? And once I took the Band-Aid off and actually let the scab heal and figured out my why, that's why I'm successful this time. That's why I'm able to do it this time and still not cave, right? We always talk about backing out and caving and not being credible. But I want to be credible this time because I deserve to be, and I deserve to be the person that I want to be. And Kelsey, you are so worth it, and you do deserve that life. And just putting one foot in front of the other every day, and you'll get to where you need to be. And it's a lot of help in this room. And if it wasn't for my friends and family here, I couldn't do this on my own. It's not a me program; it's a we program. So.
You know, Kelsey, I'm glad you're here. And when I hear things from people like I want to be myself again, or I want to learn how to live, I'm like, oh my God, it sounds so desperate on one end, and yet on the other side, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of us, Shorty kind of alluded to that, a lot of us, we come into, you know, counseling or treatment or support of whatever kind, and we think it's about, okay, I just have to stop using and everything's going to be okay, and that's not it. the first thing, if you want to live or you want to find peace of mind or you want to be yourself again, is to stop doing what obviously is not working to have you do what you deserve to do, which is to live with inner peace, to live with peace of mind. And then as Mel said, and I think Bruce, what makes this program different is really finding out what is causing us to not value our lives where we're willing to do all these destructive things. That's, to me, that is the foundation. I'm not going to do any more self-destruction. I am going to turn around and go in another direction, learning why I was doing what I was doing, and I'm going to embrace myself with anything and anyone that is going to help me better myself, whatever that is. I don't care what it is. Go to church, read, walk, run, talk to somebody. It doesn't matter as long as you're trying something new to help you eventually find yourself. That's what living is. And it takes time. You're not going to have that in 3 support group meetings or 10 IOP sessions or 15 counseling sessions. Well, maybe you better have that. 14. It just takes time. But every time you do something that is helping you get better, you're a winner. You're a winner for the day. And here's an update. There's no finish line. It's always just moving forward and enjoying the journey of self-betterment. I think of what you shared in that IOP room before about what we talked about, and God, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And you just don't have to do it anymore, you know? So those tears you have, make them tears of joy. No more pain. Tears of joy, or you're here. Let's do it. It's all good. But it's hard, but it's worth it. Renee, you're up.
Grandma, I got in a habit 3 years ago of putting little index cards up on the mirror, and I think Megan probably was in fear every time I put an index card on the mirror. The first one I put up when she was gone, she was out doing what Megan wanted to do, and it just said that God in my gut will get me through this. And the next one I put up was Micah 6:6. And the next one I put up is more recent, and it was because we were at a point where honesty could actually happen. She was clear-minded, she was sober, and she could take my honesty, and I could take hers. But that took a long time to get there. And just remember, you don't have to take that phone call when he calls you. You can let it go to voicemail, and you can decide as a family member when it's okay for you to call him back if you want to. It's okay. We don't have to be their soft pillow. It's better if we're not. It's hard to do, and you might have to just turn your phone off and let them blow up your voicemail. But at the end of the night, my brain slept better when I could call her back on my time. So, I love you.
Running, you're up.
In order for me to be myself and find myself, you know, I had to first love myself, and then kind of what everybody was kind of saying was I wrote down, like, first we have to find the whys before we can find the hows. So if we don't know what's wrong, we don't know how we're going to fix ourselves. And you have to, I have to continue to be uncomfortable in order to grow. So I'm not going to know what I like and what I don't like if I don't at least give everything, every opportunity, a fair shot to actually try it. And not just once, but a handful of times, because I might not always get the best experience the first time around. So I try to give it at least a handful of times when I'm trying something new, and just realize that I'm somebody. And then I'm grateful today because I had a friend show up yesterday, and it was kind of funny because he was about to come in today if he could. He said if he could make it, he would. I told him to watch the live feed if he couldn't make it. And he said, dude, I'm an addict. You know I sold my computer. So, I just thought that was kind of funny. We were laughing about it.
Is that it? Yeah. Megan, you're on.
I think the biggest thing that it took me to grasp a hold of was that I'm the only one that I have at the end of the day. My biggest thing was relying on other people for my validation. Like, I even moved into a hotel with somebody to make them happy, which apparently made me happy, until everything went down the drain. And then it's a crazy thing, and it's like everything was going good and all that stuff, and I know I've been doing really good, and then it's like I get this job, and it's crazy that, like, it's validating, yes, you're doing good, because it's crazy not working for a paycheck to give to heroin. That is the first job I have ever honestly had, that, like, this first paycheck, I'm so excited that I cannot take their money to go to Red Robin with these people. I mean, it's like, it's just a crazy thing. Like, I don't sit with my 9-hour shift the whole entire time biting my nails wanting to get off. This is just terrible, blah, 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 whatever. Like, you think when you're high everything's cool, but, like, my feet would hurt so bad working a 5-hour shift at, like, KFC, and now I wonder how I'm getting through a 10-hour shift running around the whole time, and it's just like, because the drugs aren't there. And now I can push myself through those hard times because I know that I have myself. I can't rely on anybody else to help me. I mean, like, obviously you have to rely on people, but you guys go to talk to a bunch of people that are going to agree with no matter what I say. And it's actually kind of annoying that I'm 21 and I understand that like I can't get validation through any of that. Like, sometimes it's very irritating, but I'm very glad that I have grasped a hold of something that works for once. It's a beautiful feeling just to be able to do life and actually want to do it. It's never been a thing before. I appreciate the hell out of
it. Bruce.
Yeah, I agree with Graham and the others that have stressed the honesty part from the support perspective. But to me, it goes a little bit beyond that. What I would really like to see, when you think about honesty, it's like, well, every question you asked me, I gave you the right answer. I gave you a truthful answer. Well, I think it needs to go beyond that, and it needs to get into an open dialogue and an honest assessment of where you are in your progress, right? What's the state of your determination and your commitment? What's the state of your dedication and putting in the work and things like that? Because the support team can't help you if they don't have an honest understanding of where you are in that spectrum. I mean, are you slipping back or are you making progress?
Love it. Lined up?
Yeah, over here.
What we got? Randy. Go ahead, buddy.
How you feel? Just said something that you need to listen to. As a parent, we raise our kids, they're born, we're supposed to protect them our whole lives. And as a grandparent, that doesn't change. I feel that same thing. But the only person that can fix them is them. They have to make that choice. And the same thing goes for us. When I started coming in here, I started healing. I started learning that it was okay to look out for me and take care of myself. And that helped my daughter, even though she didn't make it. She was starting to turn that corner. What Megan is saying is so profound for everybody here. We're all the captain of our own ship. And we can't have somebody else fix us if we're not willing to do it ourselves. So that first step and those steps have got to be our steps. And as parents or grandparents, we got to know that. And it's okay to say no. That's love. Even when they scream and kick, it's really love. So I love you.
Gail.
I agree with totally with Randy. With Lauren, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm sorry. She always had the right thing to say, even though we didn't believe her. You know, we talked about who's your support system and who you're going to go to when you start feeling like you need to use, and you know, we talk about you just have to get through this moment and it'll get better. You know, call me up. I'll talk you through it. Let's go for a drive. Let's go for ice cream. Let's go do something silly. You know, like go shopping. And she would, you know, Bruce would always ask her, "Who's your support system?"
and she would always tell Bruce that it was me. Well, the day she overdosed, I was sitting in my chair downstairs, and she came home, and we said our little highs, and she went upstairs, and she shot up right there, and that haunted me for a long time, because I'm downstairs and she is dying upstairs. But coming here and me talking to everybody, it was her choice. There was nothing I could do. I was wishing, I wish she would have made a noise. I wish she would have fell to the ground so I could have gone up there and possibly saved her. Maybe it wasn't her time to be saved. Maybe this ended a lot of her struggle and pain that she had been having since she was 12 years old and started cutting. And she told me that she cut so she knew where the pain was, because she just didn't know how to identify with it. And by coming here and talking to Todd and talking to several people around here, it has allowed me to forgive myself for not saving her, because I couldn't. That was something she had to do for herself.
I just want to say I'm kind of going through this same thing all over again. My younger son that had been clean off of heroin for 4 years. I don't know what he's doing. Coke, heroin. Jordan has been my savior here, because I'm not wanting to believe it. He's looks like a skeleton. I found him sleeping. I couldn't find him, and his car was running, and I thought someone picked him up a couple weeks ago, and it was so cold. And I don't know, about 8:30 at night, he still wasn't home, and I don't know what made me, but I thought, I'm just going to walk outside. Walked outside, and then I just happened to see something here. He was in the car, with food spread on his lap. I thought he was dead. And he had Carhartts on, or he probably would have froze. And then he came in, and I caught him in the basement with the door shut with his girlfriend, and there's kind of a crack in the door, like back from when you tried to break in on Jordan. But so I could peek in there, and then I knew something wasn't right, and I followed him to the back room, and he had a safe. And he got in the safe, and I said, "What did you put in your safe?" And he goes, "Mom, what do you follow me for? You're invading my privacy. It's none of your business." And I'm thinking, God, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be following him around, and I'm like doing that thinking again. And then Jordan's like, "Mom, he's on here when Mommy's doing this, and change your locks." And Jordan and his wonderful friends and Jeff came over to my house and changed my locks that night. And that was the hardest thing, because I just couldn't make myself do it. So I kicked him out, and he calls me, begs me every day for money. And then I found out last week, after you changed the locks, he crawled in my dog door. And I'm so mad, I don't know if it's because I can't fit through it, or he got in my house again. So it's so hard. You don't want to believe it, and it just tears at your heart. It's so hard. But I'm telling you, Jordan has been my rock through it.
Sandy, before you go, this reminds me of something I want to say about a lot of people who are learning about Racing for Recovery the first time. The reason that this format is actually the way it is a couple reasons. One, back in my addiction, I was dating a girl at the time, and when I made a feeble attempt at quitting and started to go to support group meetings, she always was left at home, and I was off by myself again. And I remember at one time she said to me, when you were using drugs, I was always at home waiting for you, and now that you're trying to get sober, I'm still at home waiting for you to get back. And I remember thinking, even at that time, that there's other people that are actually affected by my choices I'm making. And then fast forwarding that, when my choices got me removed from having an opportunity to live at my parents' house, i.e. I was kicked out. We're not kicked out. We're removing ourselves. Okay, let's put the ownership back on us. I remember my dad very clearly saying to me, we are not going to allow you to ruin us as a family. And that was another one of those times where I was like, this is going to get harder for me. But I wasn't ready to quit. All that meant was my parents had wised up to the game for their own mental and emotional stability, and it was going to mean for me I had to work a little bit harder to keep my madness going, which I did, but not at my family's expense. And as I sit here today on this side of the street, and that's part of the reason why I asked or posed this topic tonight, part of the reason I come here every week is I need to be reminded of what my choices did to the innocent bystander, my family, my friends, and our community. When I hear stuff like this, I immediately have empathy for those that are going through it and gratitude that I'm not a part of that anymore, and how I just want to be an example of what can happen when you stop using drugs. And that's applicable for every one of us in here. Whether you're a substance abuser or a family that's recovered, and you're going to hear from one soon, that's what this is about. I knew that this problem affected more than just me. That's why this unit is the way it is. When a family member talks, I am reminded of that. And I can also get support from my fellow sisters and brothers who have done all the stuff that we did. And I hope that the family members can learn what it's like from our shoes as well. It's why both sides are imperative to come together on this. You can't do it alone. We want to be understood just as much as the family side wants to be understood.
Some years back when we started coming to Racing for Recovery, and thank God we did because it saved our family. My oldest son, we enabled him terribly, thinking, well, if we give him this, if we pay for this, we rent this house for him, we let him come back home, he's gonna get better. No, he didn't get better. We just thought that was the answer. But by coming to this meeting, we realized that enabling is not helping him. It was destroying him too. And not only just him, but us and our family. But anyways, I do remember at a time when I was still working, and I got a call from him, and he was living on the streets. And that was so hard to think of your child living on the streets. And he called me and said, hey, Mom, you know, I'm down here in the hood. That's time I'm letting you use that. That's where he was. And I got in my car, and I found him, and he's just leaning up against a building and looked like a homeless person. And I said, well, you're not coming back home. It was so hard. I'll take you to Salvation Army. We were pulled into Salvation Army, thank God. They admitted him. He was there for 7 months. He worked delivering things off the truck for $5 a week, but I think it made him feel better about himself. After that, he went to a halfway house, I think down on Cherry Street, for about a year. But that's what helped him. We said, no more. We're done. And it was a hard thing to do as a parent, but we got through it. And he's living, he's turned his life around, he's doing good things. And I know if we hadn't come here and learned about this enabling stuff, we would have been still doing it. Because, you know, as a parent, you think that's what I have to do. But as hard as that was that day, it basically saved his life and saved our family. But, you know, you just have to toughen up, and you love them, but I don't want to love them to death. I wanted him to know that this is what we felt we had to do for our own family's sake, because it tears a family apart. And thank God that Salvation Army, I think a lot of them, of course now, they saved his life. That's it.
B.F. Hutton, when she talks, people listen.
That doesn't happen at home,
When they were talking earlier, I was thinking of the movie The Matrix, when Morpheus tells Neo, I can only show you the door, you gotta walk through it. And I feel like that's life recovery. Like, I'll talk and help anybody, but I can only bring up here. It's up to them after that. once they have every opportunity in front of them, it's up to them to use them. And nobody could have made me change before I was ready. You know, I went a long time with people, everybody trying to help me, and you couldn't tell me anything. But I like what Diane and Sandy was saying. I mean, me and Jordan's story is similar in a very lot of ways with stuff I've heard his mom talk about. And one of the best things my mom did for me is kick me out of the house because of what I was doing. And yeah, I stayed homeless for over 6 months, but I learned a lot in that 6 months and that's one of the drives on why I don't go back, is because I never want to go back to feeling like that ever again. And that's what keeps me going on top of the multitude of everything else that keeps me going. And at first it sucked and it was hard, and I thought everybody didn't love me, and you know, they just gave up on me when I needed them the most, and it went on from there. But that was just the addict in me talking, because once I got clean and then I started rebuilding those relationships, I found out a lot of stuff and a lot of perspectives of, I mean, even just coming in here and hearing another parent like you and Sandy and them talking, that immediately I can relate to and be like, I wonder if my mom, if she was sitting here, if she would be saying the same thing, because I did those exact same things to her. And so it really makes me, that's one of the reasons why I really like coming here, is those perspectives. And then, like, when I go home, I don't just leave it at that. Like, I'll bring up those situations again to this day and be like, hey, do you remember a long time ago, like, when I came in the house and this happened and I left real quick? Like, this is what I was trying to be respectful. You thought I was being a dick because I was in and out so quick after a shower, but I didn't want to make you upset because I knew my presence alone. What's he want? What's he gonna do? You know, stuff like that made you uncomfortable. So, but it hurt her feelings in a way, and when I thought I was doing the right thing. And then when I thought nobody was caring about me, I found out that whole time that I was out there, my stepmother was driving all the way across town and would not stop every couple days until she saw my car. She didn't come knock on the door, she didn't say anything, she didn't try to help or anything. All she wanted to do was make sure my car moved at least a foot. That way she knew I was still alive. And it's stuff like that, like looking back, like they really did care a lot, and I just couldn't see it at the time because of my own stupidity. And so, with that being said, it's good that you have Jordan too, because my mom relied on my older sister a lot during all those hard times, and now my sister is one of my biggest supporters through everything. So when he decides to make a change, he's going to have somebody, a relative even, like his own brother, that he can go to and be like, hey, where do we go from here? And you know, Jordan's a good guy. I'm sure he'll be right on that. So.
That was on camera.
Jake, do you have our poem?
Yeah.
Before you read it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Todd, you want to talk about this?
If anybody has not filled out one of the surveys, grab one of those, fill them out. You can leave it on the table back there. Don't need to put your name on it, just collecting some data to help support a lot of things that we're doing.
Actually, those surveys too, Bruce, are going to try and help what we're doing here. So, thanks for everybody who came. And again, if you're watching, wherever you're watching, thank you. And please share our Facebook page, or share the program. Learn more about what we're doing. If you have a question, call us, email us. We will get back to you. We want to help wherever you're at, wherever you are. I don't need the ad on the end of that. But thanks for being a part of this. Jake, go ahead.
All right. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am hopeless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I've fallen again. I can't believe I am in the same place. But it isn't my fault. It takes a long time to get out. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. I walk down another street.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Oh,